Hello, welcome to Bearforged Hobbies. In this first video, I would like to show you a sawdust basing technique that I use quite often on the miniatures that I paint. But before I do that, I have to make sure that my new mini is actually glued to its new base. So let's do that first, okay? Here, I got a few miniatures just to demonstrate what the final result is going to look like. As you can see, mine are painted into this green grass kind of area, but you may come up with something more creative like dry grass or pine needles or who knows, only you do. You may also add stuff like rocks and twigs to it. Here's my victim. This is a knight figure by Reaper Mini. He looked like he could be standing on the grass, so he got himself picked for this video, and here's the base that I'll use that's also a Reaper Mini product. And just wanna see how he fits on that base, so kinda like that. The next step is to make sure the bottom of his base is completely flat. I want to get rid of this text and any bumps or cavities that might be there, so just run the base through some sandpaper for a bit. Sand, sand, sand. The flatter the surface is, the better adhesion it will get when glued. And I like it. Nice and flat. Oh yeah. Now, let's take that good old X-Acto knife and chop off some of the base the figure came with. I'm going to cut off the sides and leave alone the middle part that's almost like a bridge that connects the two feet together. This way, the feet are staying in place, so we're not changing the form of the sculpt. But most importantly, there will be a larger surface area to be glued onto the new base, thus it will be harder to rip off the figure from its new base. Only going to trim the edges of the middle bridge. Make sure they're smooth and don't stand out all that much. And in the back as well. Yep, that last little piece. There you go. Okay, looks good to me. I like it. And that's kinda how it's gonna go on the base. Okay, looks good. Yep. Alright, and it's gluing time. So I got some super glue here, just regular super glue. Apply it on the bottom of the figure's base. Apply it evenly, just like that. And this is a very important moment right now. You have to make sure the figure is right in the place, right where you want it to be. I took some tweezers, and with the tweezers just press down on different points. Just make sure each part of the surface is glued. So you kind of want to press in different places, in the middle, on the sides, under the feet. Just make sure you don't shift the figure out of its place. Okay. And let's see what we got here. Yep. That's in place. Perfect. Thumb up. I got my figure in place. What I need now are 3 magic ingredients. I need sawdust, I need mud podge, and I need a cheap acrylic paint. Okay, let's get this party going. Here is some sawdust in a small plastic container. Take Mod Podge and pour the Mod Podge right into here. Now take some cheap acrylic paint, in my case it's Holy Branch from Walmart, and add that to the mixture. Now I'm gonna take a coffee stirrer, very useful tool, it's an excellent tool, the coffee stirrer. And you stir the mixture just like that, clockwise or counterclockwise, that doesn't really matter. And it was kinda dry, so I just added a little bit more Mod Podge. And mix it. Now that's a little too green, so let's add a little bit of darker brown to it. Burnt umber is the color I'm adding. Just a few drops. And mix that, see what it looks like. And it was still too dry, so just a little more Mod Podge. Just to get the right consistency in here. Yep. And I think I'm finally getting what I want to be getting. Yep. So that's what the solution is supposed to look like. Just like that. Okay, now I got my figure, I got my solution, and I got my coffee stirrer. Nice. Let's apply the solution to the base now. Nice and even. And I use coffee stirrer to do that. Just make sure it doesn't go over the edge of the base. If it does a little bit, not a big deal. We'll clean it up later. Try to get as much as possible in with the coffee stirrer. And then once you get the whole thing in, a toothpick is a finer tool. It can get in the places that coffee stirrer couldn't. Around the feet. And like all the little tiny holes where the solution didn't get to. And you can wipe off the toothpick on the paper towel just to give you that pointy pointer once again. Nice. Alright, that's what it looks like with the mixture applied. I got a box of some small rocks here. These came from a play sand for little kids. Not sure why they had rocks like this in a play sand, but anyways, they're in my box now, and I'm going to apply a couple of these to my mini's base. There goes the first one. Give it a nice tap with my tweezers. And the second one, a smaller rock right in here. And now the base is all dry and ready for painting. But before we do that, remember how I said if you get some of the mixture over the edge, like right here, over the edge of the base, there will be a time in the future to clean it up. And it's now or never. No, it's not really like that, but this is really a good time to clean it up. So look at that, I used a coffee stirrer, the tool that made this video possible. It's time to paint. First and foremost, let's do a wash. Agrax Earthshade is my choice here. A dark brown. It's always better than just pure black, just more natural. Apply it all over the base, everywhere, as much as you can. No need to be nervous here. There's really no room for any kind of mistake at this point. Just keep applying it. You know, unless you pour like the whole bottle over the base, then that's probably gonna be a problem, but otherwise it's okay, just add some more. Just make sure you cover the whole base. That's it. The wash is all dried up. It's time to get to dry brushing. Getting close to finish here. The 3 Reaper mini paints that I chose for dry brush. Brilliant green is the first one to go. Let's put some on the palette. And wipe off the brush on the paper towel. You guys know how to do that. I don't need to teach you how to do the dry brush. Get more of that first color all over the base as much as you can. And color number 2, leaf bud green. Let's get that one going as well. Just make sure you wipe your brush on a paper towel. And a little less of this as opposed to the first color. Just make sure you highlight all the places that need to be highlighted. And the last one, pale saffron. This one just a little light application. Just to highlight the really high edges. That's all. That's all. Going out of focus here. Come on. Yep, looks good. Nice. Yep. Sweet. Okay, last but not least, let's work on those rocks. So once again, we're gonna do a quick wash just over the rocks. Let's get one and the other. Now if you look at some rocks outside, they don't just have black and gray and white color. They got some moss and mold and some other stuff on them. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish here with adding some yellow and a little bit of green there as well. And ideally you would do that over the fresh wash, but the wash decided to dry up on me. So I had to add wash and I had to add a little bit more yellow. And it's fine, I think I finally like what I'm seeing here. Let's move on to the final step, try brushing the stones. These are the 3 paints I'm going to use. Number 1, Mountain Stone from Reaper Mini Paints. Get that over the rocks. And number 2, Stone Gray. And last but not least, the final color, Leather White. Let's throw some highlights onto those stones. Let's highlight those edges. And the little stone, that needs some love too. A few final brush strokes and we're almost done here, I promise. Almost done. That's it. Right there. looks good. Look at that. Wow. That's a Sawdust base. My job is done here, but as always, I just want to compare my latest piece to the previous ones that I did in the past. And I think this guy fits right in. I see a slight variation in colors, which I actually like a lot. There's absolutely no need to repeat the previous work in an exactly the same way over and over again. You just don't grow this way. The way you grow is by trying out different things or by putting little new spins on the things you've already tried. And as for the figure himself, you must be thinking, oh no, he looks so gray and sad. Don't you worry about it. We'll take care of him in a future video. I promise. Well, that was my first video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you liked it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a few lines in the comments below. And if you didn't like it, well, I guess you can still drop me a few lines in the comments below. Okay? Cheers! Till the next time.